Hello again. Welcome to Late Night Chit Chat with Sebastian. You guys seem to have loved this last night. Where are you going? Jax. All over my bed. Where are you going? Oh, he's tired of being on the bed. Oh, he laid right next to me. Let me drink a little bit of tea. I was like, what is that? Welcome to my late night kind of talk show where we relax. It's a very cozy vibe. Last night was episode number 1, and you guys seem to really love the cozy vibe. You told me that you watched it either before going to bed or you watched it in the morning. So I'm so grateful that you liked it. Last night we talked about protecting our energies. So if you love this sort of calming ASMR chit chat, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and let's just get into the chat. Now, bitch, listen, I might yawn at 1 or 2 times because, honey, it is almost 12 a.m., okay, bitch? Or is it, what time is it? Oh, just kidding, it's 10:30. I don't even know the fucking time. Anyways, you guys, so what was I gonna say? Okay, so initially I wanted to talk about manifestation, but I thought when I went on my live today, I got a lot of requests to do story time. So I figured I'll do a story time, and tomorrow we can talk about manifesting. So get cozy, grab a drink, a tea, a coffee, a fucking glazed donut. Oh, girl, that sounds so good. You know how long I have not had a glazed donut, bitch. But listen, so I was taking a shower yesterday, and I of course shower with, like, you know, my music, and the song Destiny's Child Brown Eyes came on, and it transported me to my first year in Danish high school. I left normal high school here in Miami when I was 15 or 16. 15 or 16. We moved to Denmark, and I went to what was it called? Oh my god, what the fuck was it called? It was called it was called an IB program, which literally meant an international side of the school. So it was like this huge high school. Half of it was the Danish side and half of it was the English side. So I went to the English side. Danish people, or people who didn't speak Danish, were allowed to go there. Danish people could also go there if they wanted to learn in English, right? So all the classes were in English. Well, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that. And I just got all these flashbacks, so it's going to be cute. So when we moved to Denmark, I was very scared and upset because we moved to Denmark because my stepdad was Danish, and he lived in Miami, like, you know, for many years, and he had his business there. And my mom, she really never really liked Miami that much. So when there was an opportunity to work in Denmark, he wanted to stay in Miami, but she was like, let's go to Denmark. Anyway, so we went to Denmark, right? And we got there in like June or July, and school started in August, so it was like 2 months of just being alone, right, with my parents, not really knowing anyone, not having any friends. Well, the first day comes, and it was so weird because I'm so used to raising my hand to go to the bathroom. I'm used to getting a hall pass. I'm used to all these American rules. And when I went to the Danish school and it was my first day, I just remember, like, I'll never forget, like, we sat in a circle and everyone was like, hi, my name is so and so. Hi, my name is so and so. I'm from here. These are my likes. These are my dislikes, whatever. And I remember I was like, hi, my name is Sebastian. And I like really exaggerated my American accent. I was like, hi, my name is Sebastian. And like, I'm from Miami. And like, I literally love like Paris Hilton and like Britney. Like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. But I did that. And I was like, I love to go shopping. So if you guys know any really good shops, please let me know. I'm new here. And I'm just like literally, and I kept saying like and literally just to, I don't know, I thought that made me look cool. But I was like, I'm literally just like so excited and I can't wait to like have friends. And like, oh my God, it was so cringy. But anyways, they ate it up, bitch. They loved it, okay? They loved it. I was instantly super popular. Like immediately, like that day, I had phone numbers. People wanted to hang out. Like it was insane. My class was a very nice and cute class, I have to say. I met my then best friend that we were best friends for like 3 or 4 years, and we are unfortunately no longer best friends, but you know, people leave your life and you just have to be grateful for the time you spend with them. But I met a lot of really nice people, and I just remember that there was this one guy in the class, and he was always so special to me, and he was very, very nice. At this point, I hadn't told anyone that I was gay or bi yet. And I remember that the one specific guy, he and I became inseparable. And he was just always around and so sweet. And I, of course, immediately got a huge crush on him because I thought he felt the same, right? But things got so... Okay, so listen. We would always sit together. We would always talk. We would always hang out. We would always talk on the phone. We would text. We would always, always hang out. And I don't know if I took things the wrong way, but like I would even sit on his lap every time. And he started getting he would get upset if I didn't sit next to him. He would get upset if I chose another partner in class, or if I biked home with someone else. He would get literally upset. So of course those things obviously confused me. My dog is snoring, it's so cute. So of course those things, of course confused me. Well, I remember that we were taking a class trip, and they did this class trip to sort of to the whole international area, for them to sort of meet and like get to know each other, whatever. Well, it was an overnight trip, and it was my first overnight trip with a classroom because I never did that in Miami. So I remember in the bus ride to the boat, because it was like on an island. In the bus ride, I sat with him and we were sharing earphones and we were listening to Destiny's Child, their greatest hits. And he loved the song Brown Eyes and Emotions. And I think another one, but I can't, Cater to You, probably. But anyways, we were on the bus, and I remember that I opened up to one of the girls, excuse me, and in the bus. We were literally sitting next to each other, him and I. And you guys, it was a very, now that I like look back at things, I'm like, it was very weird. Like, we had a very weird relationship. And I'm really like thinking about it. I'm like, he had to be at least bisexual, because we did things that I'm like, girl, what? Anyways, look. So I remember specifically being on the bus, and I remember that we were listening to Brown Eyes, and in my heart, I remember thinking, I have to tell him how I'm feeling. I have to open up, because this is literally killing me, right? Well, I remember that I turned to him and I said, hey, well, if you feel more than a friendship, you would tell me, right? Do you hear that? Here, I'll show you. He's right there. And then look, my other one is right here. They're so cute. I'm actually getting all these flashbacks right now, which is so crazy. So I remember specifically telling him, I'm like, hey, would you tell me if you felt more than a friendship? And he was like, yes. And I said, okay, let's promise each other, because we are getting very close. And I think the reason we even talked about it, and I think the reason we talked about it was because we were feeling things that we both knew it was weird, getting mad at each other for not sitting next to each other or whatever. And he would do this thing where he would like pat on his lap for me to just sit on his lap. And all of our class was like super always like, you guys should just date, like you guys like each other, like wherever oh my god, I was about to say his name. I don't want to say his name. You know why, you guys? Because he's married now, he has kids. I want to be respectful. And I mean, I doubt he watches my channel, but I don't want, I'm trying to be like respectful, bitch. Well, anyways, people were bothering us on the bus, and I just remember that he was getting a little bit upset, and I told him, I'm like, look, I just want to make sure that we never ruin our friendship and we always are honest with each other. Okay. So I remember now specifically that we got to the island, and I remember that we were, of course, sharing a cabin. We were sharing like a room with other people, of course. And I just remember, oh my god, I don't remember what the fuck I had for breakfast yesterday, and I'm remembering this shit. I remember us in the cabin, and I remember that I was in my feelings, and it was because in Denmark, the legal drinking age, I believe, is 15 or 16 years old. So there was alcohol involved, but it was only Smirnoff Ice, but I hadn't drank before. I probably had 1 or 2 Smirnoff Ice, and I was already like feeling emotional. Well, oh my god, I said his name. Oh, whatever. Okay, forget. I'm not editing this shit. But this. God, you guys, what do you make me do? I remember that he was upset at me for a reason. And I know. Okay, so this is gonna sound so terrible, but remember I told you guys that I was like kind of popular? Well, I really was. And people loved to hang out with me. Like, I think it was because I spoke English. So the Danish people, they love to speak English. And I think it was that. But they were fascinated by me to the point where he would have to tell them like, hey, let him be for a second. It was always like, hey, Sebastian, you want to go here? Hey, Sebastian. And then, they were so sweet. It was 4 girls, and they would always be next to me. Always. Like, you guys, we were a group. I loved them. We would go to the bathroom together, everything. But they never left my side. And in Miami, like, I was never popular. Like, I mean, yes, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, I've always been like a people person, right? I've always had like friends, but not to this degree, you know? Um, and I just remember that he would always get mad that every time we would, because our thing was like listening to music, so we would just sit and like share earphones and just like listen to music. But he would get really pissed off when other people were around all the time. So I remember that our like trip counselor, which was like a girl 2 grades above us, I remember that I left the cabin and I said, hey, can we please talk? And we went and we sat down in a bench. And I remember her telling me, I remember telling her, like, um, I don't even remember her name, but she was so gorgeous. I remember telling her, like, I need just 2 minutes to myself. I'm getting really overwhelmed and I want to go home. I know it sounds very dramatic, you guys, but like, listen, even when I went to go to number 2, they were out there waiting. Like, I tell you, it was like, I felt very grateful to finally have a bunch of friends, but there was like literally no space. And then I have him mad at me because he was mad at me that we didn't do, I don't know, we didn't do something he wanted to do. And so that day, I don't really remember what the night was about. Oh, I remember. So that day, him and I, remember on the bus we talked, if we feel anything together, we would let each other know. People were bothering us on the bus. People were bothering us in the trip. People were bothering us because, oh, we decided to share a bed. People were bothering us for everything. Well, that night, there was like a campfire or something. And I just remember people were drinking. And I remember that I was with my girls. We were having a good time. And he was being super, super distant. And he was not talking to me. And then I just remember that this other classmate of mine, who I literally thought was a lesbian, because she told me she was a lesbian, and I was like, yes, I feel like a gay person, thank you. Um, they ended up making out that night. And I just remember feeling shocked. I remember feeling sad. Even though we weren't together, we were very young. I just remember I remember opening up to my friends and telling them that I did have a crush on him and that I was heartbroken to see this. They all advised me to tell him. They all advised me to open up to him. They all advised me to, to share with him what I'm feeling, because they all thought that he shared the same feelings back. Well, when he was making out with her, of course they were like, they made out all night. It was like always around me. And he spent the night with her. He did not sleep in the bed we were supposed to share. The bus ride back, we did not talk. And when we got back to school, things changed a lot. He hardly spoke to me. I hardly spoke to him. And I met my then first real boyfriend. And he just didn't, he was always so angry at me. And he actually dated this girl. They started dating, and then I started dating my first boyfriend. But we had a few moments that I believe were the moment that something could have happened in telling our feelings. There was always a lot of anger with him towards me. And I asked him, I said, do you realize we don't talk anymore? What happened? I asked him if it was because I asked him about our feelings. He said that it wasn't that he also thought it was a great idea to share if we felt something more because we were very close. He said that I don't really remember what he said, but I think it was something like he just couldn't take it anymore, something like that. My friends, classmates, everyone would always bother, especially in the beginning when we weren't sitting next to each other. When we got back from the trip, people would be very curious to know why. Even my mom was like, where is he? Where is he? I just remember him always wearing blue jeans, really tight jeans, and collared shirts. And when I dated my first boyfriend, and we definitely separated, him and I, we did go to the movies after one time, I think. We did get drunk one night, and we had a huge blowout over, I don't know, it was like a school dance. And it was a school dance. Oh my god, I remember this. It was so embarrassing. It was a school dance, and it was actually the night that I started sort of dating my then boyfriend, my first boyfriend. He was with the girl, our classmate, and I just remember that I made a promise to myself that I was going to ignore him and that I was not going to talk to him that night, and I was just going to go about my way. Well, I was like with my friends and whatever, and we're drinking Smirnoff because that's the only thing they allowed. And he came to me and he said, oh, are you going to the after party at Maria's place? That was her name. I was like, yeah, she's my best friend. Of course I'm going. And he was like, I see things have not changed. It's literally been like a month after the fucking school trip, or like 2 months. And I'm like, we have not spoken and we're in the same class forever. And I was like, there's no reason why you and I cannot speak anymore. And he's like, it's just very complicated, Sebastian. It got very complicated. And I'm like, but in my head, I'm like, I didn't even tell him that I had feelings for him. The only thing I said was, hey, in case there's feelings or of anything, let's just be honest with each other so we don't ruin our friendship. He said things got very complicated, that being friends with me, it involved a lot of opinions from people, that I could never be alone, that I was always busy. And I was like, so you don't want to be friends with me because I have other friends? And I was like, and I remember I shook him and I was like, do you know how much you meant to me? Like, do you realize we spent all those months in the beginning of the year inseparable every single fucking day together? We would talk for hours every night. We would go to the movies. We would go eat. We were inseparable. I'm like, do you realize that? Like, I just don't get it, We would even have sleepovers. Like, I just don't get how you could just throw it all away. And he said, and then I remember 2 of my friends came, like, Sebastian, we need you. And he's like, that's exactly why I can't do this. And he just turned around and left. We went to the after party. I met my then first boyfriend. I didn't meet him. I mean, we started really talking that night. And I just remember that I was drinking and he was so mad. He was so mad. He was like making out with the girl like so ferociously. And I just remember like him towards the middle end of the year, he started getting kind of mean to me, and I was still with my then first boyfriend, and he started getting really just nasty to me, and I don't know about make fun of me, but just like, he wasn't being very nice to me. And now, I mean, I never spoke to him again. I left the school, I ran into him maybe once or twice, but things were never the same. And the song, there's a song that I will always associate him with is Lisa Left Eye Lopez did a song with Melanie C from the Spice Girls, and it's called Never Be the Same Again. Listen to it. That's what I was feeling when we were hanging out. When I tell you we were inseparable, we were inseparable. I've thought about looking him up, but I'm scared. I'm married now. He's married. He has kids. I'm not scared of old feelings. I'm scared of... I would have loved to know why he stopped really talking to me. He knew I was gay, by the way, the whole time. So he knew it. So it wasn't like I came out and he got mad. It wasn't that. So I don't know what it was. My friends always said that it was because I made him feel things that he wasn't comfortable feeling, or that he did not understand, which is understandable. I just would have wished that he would have opened up to me, because he's one of the friendships that I will always treasure. I might not always remember it, but when like for example, yesterday when I listened to Brown Eyes, I just got the sweetest memories of him and me and late night talks, and we would even like hug for a very long time. Like, that was the other thing. Like, we would hug when I would get to school, we would see each other and we would just stand there and hug. It was just very weird. Yeah. So that was my story. And I think I also want to do like high school stories, and so I think that's kind of fun to go back in time and think of, the memories. But yeah, I wonder what he's up to. I hope he's happy. I hope he was able to be 100% himself. I hope he's being authentically himself. So yeah, you guys, that was my story time of the time that my first Danish crush, I guess. If you want to know a detailed story time of my first, because I had two first boyfriends. Okay, so the one in Miami, which I still talk to him. He's the only ex, and I do this because nothing ever happened with him. We were literally like 14. We were super young. The only thing we did was hold hands. I consider him my first boyfriend, but he doesn't really consider. He said, he's like, we were not boyfriends, and I was like, oh my god, you don't remember? But in my heart, we were. But he was like my first boyfriend, but like my first boyfriend who took my V card, is the one I told you I met that night at the party. We had the most crazy relationship. So if you want to know that story time, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to know anything else, let me know, because I'm super happy to do this story times or things like that. Let me know the topic you want me to talk about tomorrow. If it's story time or manifestation, whatever you want, I got you. And also, if you like this time a video, it's half an hour. Not sure if you want it, you want it this long or you want it shorter. Let me know also. All right, you guys, well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a beautiful, cozy time with me. I know I did, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for, just being there. So I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night, and you guys are amazing. All right.